Welcome everyone. I'm just going to talk to you about this week ahead and longer term projections. What you're looking at here is a weekly chart of the S&Ps and got a lot to get through this week as we have ECB and US inflation on Friday. So market has had this very nice sweep up. So we really fell off in main part of 23, and so as we come in, we had this push up in the early part of the summer, or right back in the autumn as usual, well, fairly typically, and then had this really nice rally into year end. Sorry, just get my head around this. And so we find ourselves here on the third full week of trading in markets, and we just look too toppy here. I just think I'm actually short this market. Why? Because we're coming up on low volume. The indicators suggest we're running out of steam. I'll talk about that in a minute. But if we find ourselves back underneath this area here, which is 820, 800, we close underneath that 800, I think that will potentially lead us to see, at the very least, a pullback. All right, and also seasonally, this time of year, we normally get a decent pullback as well. So normally you would start the year off, then draw back into February and March, and then pull up into April and May, sell in May and go away, and then you pull back into the autumn and potentially pick up the back end of the year again, which is pretty much the cycle we had last year. So if this is a normal cycle, then we will at least want to pull back to 4,600 on this into key support. If we do pull back and don't hold that, then we're going to fall back lower. One of the main methods you can use to detect the strengths and weaknesses of the market is, in my book, to take a very close look at the dollar. Because if we see a pretty big push up in the dollar, and we've already seen a move up from support in the dollar, if this dollar breaks through here, I think that is, dollar's a safe haven. So if we see a push into a safe haven like dollar, that could suggest that these highs in the equity markets are unsustainable. The other reason why I am talking like this is because I'm finding it very, very difficult to trade stocks, to find good stocks to enter, because the markets are struggling and coming off, and we could be seeing a distribution here at these highs. So this big push up into the end of 23 could be sold into, and we could see a move, a grind lower, and a wave pattern to the downside. I'm not suggesting this is going to fall out of the sky. I'm just suggesting you might see a pattern to the downside. Also, if you've got oil that is holding up and pushing back up, then that could potentially put a spanner in the works for the A, inflation, and B, profitability and economic growth. So it would benefit the economy if this oil came off. Okay, so with oil pushing up, and if the dollar pushes up with it, well, that really is potentially spooking the markets. Okay, and in the meantime, we've got the strength of the dollar is capping the strength in the gold. So my charts are really slow this week. Look at this weekly chart. We are really struggling with gold. We've had three significant lower closes, the main one being middle of December. We pushed back into that resistance area created by that downdraft, and we are still not holding up. So if I'm right about the dollar, this could potentially drag the gold right back down. We actually have a gap down here. 1830, we have a gap. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this gold really tail off. There's a lot of gold bulls out there who are sitting long the gold. And so, yeah, that could be a big downdraft if we do catch the market selling off and dragging and capitulating on the gold. All right, so watch out for this. And moving across to so commodities in general are struggling. Let's look at the commodities. Let's look at wheat. We've got planting reports coming out very soon. I'll check the dates. And the commitment of traders, just seen Carly Garner, who's a good commodity trader and broker, talking about the commitment of traders. There's a huge bias towards short selling in these commodities. If hence the reason why we are closing lower, if these commodities continue to close lower on this weekly chart, we could see at least 550 on this wheat. So I'm backing off the wheat until we get some clarity and direction on this, because we could still fall back into this level here, this support level, at which point I would definitely be a buyer. So you can see from these weekly charts, the buyers are not stepping in at the moment. The highs, we're seeing a series of lower highs and lower lows. I don't think that's over and done with yet, so I'm backing off. Stocks, you can see from some bellwethers. Just go to those now. Let's look at Barclays. So there are two deep lower closes on this weekly chart on Barclays. So we're into support. So if this 138 holds, we talked about 138 a week or two ago, because that was a buy area from November. If this holds and we close above 150, then all is good, and this could climb back up to 170 plus. If I pan back from this, see how much resistance is there. A series of lower lows, lower highs. So this is my fear for the market, that we are potentially getting closer to at least an early seasonal corrective wave down. Ultimately, we've got ECB this week and US inflation, so that's why it's crucial that we close this week well. So and we look at Lloyd's as well. That was up there at 47, 48p. We're now back down to the key support. It's 43.50. If that line through there, we're pivoting around that. So we close back above 45, then that bodes well for Lloyd's. So all more reason to be cautious and let this market set up. Give it a little bit more time, get a little bit more data behind us, and let's see if this market can do something. Interested in stocks like HA Bell, the weekly chart. They had a massive move up on November. They're peeling back, and he's just arrived. Let's look at HL. Wow. So the volumes in this is a weekly chart. So the volumes are coming back on this. We had a good week on the first week in Jan. Flat last week. Is that right? Why are we not showing this week? For some reason, there's no data for this week. That's odd. All right. Well, the volumes are picking up, so that's encouraging. Could be a good reason to look at this one if the volumes are picking up off this 686. Wasn't that long ago. When was it? 19. We're up there at 24.32. So if we can get some push going, we close above this 758 pounds. I think that could really motor. Certainly should see the £10 mark. So keep an eye on that one. And let's look at the Prudential is just not doing it. I mean, if Pru can't do it, then for that sector, be careful. Right, so Drax had got right up into 545 on significant volume, and then we've come down on lower volume. So I'm still bullish this one, but the jury is out. Um, we've got to get back above £5 on that one soon in the next couple of days for that to be a potential push higher. That's a very bearish week bar there, so be very cautious on that one. Let's look at a couple of other different sectors. Let's look at the miners. This is my concern for. See, it's not got this week's data on it as well. What's going on? Let's get back to the daily. Right. Okay. So we had a good. So that you can see the 1540. It's a massive number. We've pinged up to 16 and a half. But I think these miners, or particularly miners like PF, have very really underperformed. If we start, if at any stage we close under 15 and a half, watch out. It's decent volume in there. So if we can pick up and hold that and close above 16, 17, then we could at least push back into 20. But be very cautious. Griffin's going nowhere. That has pushed right up, but it's gone right into resistance up there. Volumes are very sketchy on that. I would steer well clear of that one. Right. I want to look at a couple of retailers and a couple of another sector. I'll so look at housing. I can't find retail at the moment. I had this problem last week. I solved it. And I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Right. Let's look at Sainsbury's. Yeah. So look, that move into 310 has seen that sold right back down. So it grinds higher and then plummets. Markets come down 3 times faster than they go up normally. Glenn, okay. Um, so all the more reason EasyJet sitting up, but only just. Smiths, yeah, I don't never like this Smith stock, and there it is falling out. W.H. Smiths. So a lot of reasons to be very cautious at the moment. Um, I'm going to come on to that, Glenn, in a second. Glaxo. I won't be at all surprised to see that pull back to 15. It's 15.55 at the moment. That's been on a nice run. I think that could pull back into that. That's gone too far too fast, I think. Last time this happened was September last year. We pulled right back, boomerang right back to 1387. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that pull right back to 1450, given what I've said about the markets. So if it does, that could be a great opportunity. Right. Let's look at Glencore. Let's find that sector. Basic materials, here we go. Wow. Yeah, see, look, we really struggled up there at this recent high. Well, coming down on volume, so it looks as if we could, let's update this chart. Take all this mess off. I could see that coming down to 350 unless we turn around and close above £4. It's coming down on volume, so I would not attempt to buy this at the moment. That looks horrible. So we're down to July 22 lows almost. What are you looking for in Glen? I think it's a good one to watch, but yeah, we need to give that a wide berth until that improves. So we've got Rio. Now Rio's back down to major support. No buy signal down there at the moment, but that has boomerang back down to a breakup on the 14th of November. So you're already in. Okay. Well, uh, it's a on the whole, this is a good sector. But as you heard me say, we just need to be very cautious. This Elementis is doing well. Talked about this a lot last year. So that's not recently we saw 132. Again, a huge amount of resistance up there. And the volumes are not attractive. So steer clear for now. TPI cap. Yeah, this is a good one. Look at this 173. I would love to see this come down at 173. If we come down to 173 and hold, I mean, on TPI cap. Man group, as you'd expect, struggling. But if any time soon we get above 233, 235, I think that could go. Anything else you want me to look at? Because I am just very cautious at the moment. You see stocks like Barclays, Lloyds, um, and Sainsbury's and so on struggling, then these are bellwethers that are telling you that the markets are not happy. And the biggest thing on my watch list at the moment is the dollar. We've got US inflation Friday, ECB Thursday. If this dollar, any time in the coming weeks, closes above this area, this could trigger uh, a rush to the safe havens. Strength in this dollar could really drag the markets back. Commodities, stocks, indices, the lot. Okay, so if you look at the Euro US, which I've studied a lot today, ECB on Thursday. So whichever way we close outside of this area, this apex, so we close above 109, we could easily climb back to 23 highs and beyond. If I pan back, you can see how we are just middling here. Is it a bull flag? Yes, it could be. It's a confirmed bull flag if we close above 109 and certainly 110. In the meantime, I would just back off to be very cautious if you are looking at a longer term view of euro. Trade it with caution if you are day trading it. All right, let's have a look at the pound, and then anything else you want to look at. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get go and get a meal. Let's try and pull this pound up. Okay, so pound is sitting up. This chart's wrong. Hang on. As you look at the pound yen in a minute, pound yen's had a really good start to the year. So this move down to 126 has got bought. If we start closing above here, then this pound could start to shift up. Start closing under 126, 125, then hold on to your hats. JD Sports. I'm ultra cautious on anything to retail. Really fell off a cliff, didn't it? So, yeah, so we've got a lower high on, that's a major area of resistance up there. So that's a three touch. So we fell from there March 23, May 23, touched it twice December, and yeah, touched it twice in December. Okay, so we've got some key support and we are seeing some higher closes. I just don't like it. I think any push into 125, 126, I could see that dropping right back to this October lows. I mean, let's look at the weekly. If we close higher this week, if we closed above 115 or 120 this week, I think that's got a chance of recovery. Otherwise, I think we could slam into 125 and go and find 95. I don't like the sector. I've not liked the sector for quite a while. If I'm right about the dollar picking up and knocking these markets off, then this could have lower to go. If I'm wrong, this is going to close above 123 and go back to this resistance level. So I would back off of that if you're looking to buy it and wait for a close above 125. What do you think? Sorry, I've read the name and I didn't see your comment. Yeah, I know you don't like the stock. Yeah, I don't. But at times it does it's done well on October 22. It's done well from October 23. Let's have a look at some January periods. Yeah, so we dropped off January. Oh, that's COVID, isn't it? We've got a habit of dropping off in the early part of the year on this one. Yeah, yeah, so it's, you're already in at 120, right? Okay. And stop under 110. Right. 1.5 is the low. So that's a tight stop. No reason why you shouldn't have a tight. Well, I would definitely have a tight stop if um, a low position size and a tight stop. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Like I said, if this does pick up a bit, then yeah, you can get you could potentially get a nice move out of it. You can draw on these things as much as you like. It doesn't really make much difference. But it's the price that matters, not these lines. As you know only too well, Andy, this has got to close above 125. Well, thanks for drawing that to our attention because it's well worth a look. Brilliant. Unless you've got anything else you want me to look at, I'm going to disappear now. My short on the S&Ps is working. All right, but thanks for sharing that with us. That's useful. I will update you and talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.